Good morning. It's Friday, June. Excuse me. I'm way, no, it needs to be still June. June 2nd, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We're here to practice Wudang Qigong. We have the advanced sets this morning. We're going to work on 2 sets, shaking the tail feathers and dragon and tiger joined together. And we're going to do this in the context of Tinger, listening, changing, listening skill. I learned my Chinese mostly in Henan and Zhengzhou, and I have an accent from that area. So when there's times when I need to correct myself to more correct pronunciation. Anyway, the idea of listening strength and listening skill has much to do with that idea of being quiet inside and turning down the noise, so that as we're practicing quieting the body, quieting the breath, quieting the mind, creating within ourselves that stillness that we want to use during practice. One of the difficulties in doing that is we have to recognize what that noise is. So as I'm thinking through a question, as I'm trying to consider how to do whatever it is, or thinking about something, my mind is not quiet. And the contradiction is that I have to recognize and accept whatever it is I'm thinking about before I can let go of it. So I have to be able to let go of it during practice. It is not a permanent thing. It's not, we're not out of floating in somewhere else. During practice we might be, but when we finish practice, we need to be able to return to our normal state of mind, with the benefit that we will have derived from practice. So for this month, listening skill. What are we doing there? Listening skill. Tinger. We listen to what's going on around us. We listen to our environment. Just stop for a second. Before we get started, just stop for a second. Listen. What do you hear? I don't mean in my environment, I mean in your environment. What do you hear? Now, listen to yourself. What's going on inside your head? Listen to yourself. Seriously. Oh, I've got to get this done. I need to get that done. I got that done this morning, but I need to get that done. That's what's going on inside my head. That's really what's going on inside my head. All right? Quieting that down is a challenge for me. It's been a challenge for me, and I'm getting better. I'm late this morning for class, and I recognize that. It's 8:30, it's not 7. I was up at 5, I was. But here and presenting, wasn't. Did I intend to be? Yes. Did it happen? No. And so I'm here now. That sense of acceptance and recognition. It doesn't come with it. If I only think about, oh my gosh, I had scheduled, I was going to start at 7 o'clock and darn, it's 7:30 already, and I'm not ready to start. I'm just not ready to get started today. That, yeah, it happened. Alright. What do I do with that? I decided I was going to start at 8. That didn't happen either. And then I had to decide, was I actually going to teach or not? And I decided yes, I would, because this month's lesson is about listening. And listening to myself. Well, Terry, you going to teach this morning or not? Right? I have to answer that question. It's not somebody else asking me, it's me deciding. That internal questioning and that internal dialogue that requires you, not me, I'm never going to hear it. I'm never going to hear it. Requires you to think about what you're doing, what you're thinking about, how that affects you, and what you can do with it. What do I do with this? Alright, so my cat would like to go out, and she's been running. She let me know that she'd like to go out. What do I do with this noise? For myself, I need to do something with I need to do something else with that. Okay? So just saying, okay, now I'm going to quiet that down, and I'm going to, quiet, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not. There are times when it's not so bad. It's not quite so noisy in my head. And yeah, I can just say, all right, fine. Today was not one of them. What do I do with that? That's part of today's lesson. So, again, there's the idea that we just quiet down. There you go. Really? When I define what I'm going to pay attention to in practice, more specifically, and I focus on that, now I have something to occupy my mind that is what I'm trying to do, trying to pay attention to, trying to develop. And instead of that noise being a distraction, because I'm thinking about something else over here, I start occupying my mind with what I'm doing. For today, we're going to pay attention to two things in this idea of listening. First, with shaking the tail feathers, right? As we come across and down, right? So, here, come up and down. In the 5 elements, metal, water, wood, fire, and earth, we also have entering, leaving, look right, turn left, and center, in the same order. So today, as we practice shaking the tail feathers, we're going to pay attention to looking left and looking right, so left, right, as we turn, with the idea that each time we turn in a particular direction, we want to listen to what that direction tells us. What are the sounds coming from this direction? What are the sounds coming from this direction? What does it feel like? What are the sounds, and what does my body tell me when I come back to center? I'm going to turn around, left side, right side. Gently, gently. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, press down, gaze left, turn, center, look right. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out, look right. And center, gaze left. Pay attention to what you hear. Stay focused on your placement, right, center, left. Each time you move, listen. Breathe in, breathe out, look left. Center, look right. Pull up through the crown of the head. Turn through the hip, turn through the spine. Breathe in. And breathe out. Left side. Center. Right side. And breathe in. And breathe out. Right side. Center. Left side. Two more. Listen to what's in front of you. Listen to what's behind you. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Last time, breathe in. Breathe out. Look right. Center. Look left. And breathe in. Hands down along both both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, we're going to do one more, dragon and tiger joined together. And the same idea, except that since we're really not turning side to side, right? We're just changing the weight. We're going to listen more inwardly. And what we're listening for is the center. What are my leg muscles? What are my abdominal muscles? What is my center? Where is my center, right? As I transfer the weight and bring the leg up to extend it out. If I'm leaning to one side, I'll be off balance. If my leg is too stiff, I'll be off balance. If I've not opened my foot, so if my toes are all cramped up, right? I've not opened my foot to give myself a nice firm placement through the toes, open the toes, right? And stick the heel down, because I'm not going up on my toes for this, right? I could, I don't want to. It's not, that's dance. This is Qigong, okay? I want my heel sunk into the floor. Toes grip the floor just a little bit, toes grip the shoe, grip whatever you're on, so that there's just a tiny, not hard, tiny bit of tension, and the Yongchuan, the bubbling well, just behind the metatarsal arch in the foot, right here, except it's in the foot, okay, is pulled up. The arch of the foot pulls up, the heel sinks down, the knees bent just a little bit, the hip is open, so all of this is open. The tailbone drops down, so the back is straight and well aligned. The foot should be off the ground as much as possible. It should, if you've got the ability, it goes to 45, or excuse me, it goes to 90. I usually am here about 45. It does go to 90. Okay, so this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. And I need to crank it up just a little bit more to get to 92, because 92 is more comfortable than 90. That extension, okay, we're not trying to take it up here, okay? It really does come out here, okay? So if you're in this kind of range, this is fine. You have to be able to hold it there. Target is the hip. Yeah, you could just target the top part of the hip with the heel. Yeah, that's all right. But the idea is straight and extended, so that there are 3 directions: up, down, forward. Above, below, and the middle. Above and below have to hold so that the middle is solid. Pay attention to what your body tells you about your center and your body placement. Pay attention to what's going on either side of you. Listen. In your environment, listen to what's going on either side of you, and focus on what's in front of you. Breathe in, and breathe out. See? Shift left, open right, or shift right, open left, excuse me. And turn, extend, pull in, come back to center. Shift, open, just a little, center, breathe in, and breathe out. Find your center. Listen to what's going on to both sides. Right side, left side. What's different about the sounds? What's the same? Focus to the front. Listen to both sides. Pay attention to what's going on behind you. What's in your environment? What do you hear? Center. Use the breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Use the breath. Keep going. Open the body. Two more. Listen. What do you hear? Center. Breathe in. Hands down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Alright, so couple of times, a little off on the right side. Fixed it once, not so much the partly my hip and partly my foot. I know where it was. I know what happened. I know why it happened. I did. Wasn't pulled up enough. Wasn't using the muscles in this area to hold the hip. And my foot was off by just that much. It just wasn't properly placed. I was leaning to the outside when I shifted my weight. So instead of shifting to the center, I shifted too much to the right. And I did that a couple of times, and it was okay, sort of, and then it wasn't, right? So that bend as I shift. Where's my weight right now? Where's my weight? Check the weight as I shift into it. Am I pulled up sufficiently to hold and do the extension that I'm intending to do. Well, yeah, that time I was. That correction was, I did exactly what I described. I held more here, paid attention to the back, pulled up through the back of the neck spine, and I paid attention to that center line. Where is my center? So listening inwardly. Yep, no, leaning to the right. Yeah, I'll come back to center. There's the center right there. Yeah, it'd be better if the foot was turned just, there we go. Right, just a little bit. It's little things that we want to pay attention to, that we want to look for and listen for in practice. What is going to help me the most to be able to bring my leg up to where I've decided I would like it to go? I can answer that for me. I've got to do a lot more work on my abs, especially my lower abs, and I've got to do a little bit more on the upper back so that I can pull my leg up. But yeah, what's your answer? That's what I'm going to be explaining a little bit. And that part of practice, that understanding, this is what I'm going for, this is what I would like to achieve, right? Can I do it? Yeah, maybe, we can try. Certain things I've already decided, yeah, it's probably never going to happen, okay? I am never going to do a flying, spinning jump kick. It ain't going to happen. You go to a gymnastics school, put me in a harness, I might try it. But it's never going to happen. Okay, I'm way past that. Somebody taught me that 50 years ago, I'd be still doing it. But ain't happening. I know this, it's okay. What can I do? I can still do quite a lot. And there's more that I have to learn. Each time I practice, I learn something a little bit more about the exercise that I'm doing. The shaking the tail feathers exercise, right here. This is also a very good push hands maneuver, right? It is. And this is push, ward off, your choice. It tends to go more straight because this is slightly first, opponent bends and they go. Goodbye. That idea behind this practice in developing both the placement skill and the holding skill. That I need to send that energy up and down to compensate for what I'm doing going forward, because that up and down is also what I have to the back. Listening to what's around us, listening to particular direction, listening to ourselves and how what our body is telling us about how we are moving, all requires quieting the mind. Have to listen. If you're paying attention to something that is part of your practice, that is intentional, instead of simply, well, let it go and it's fine, that ain't gonna be laid down. I started a class with that. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna let go of it. It's not happening. focus on a particular type of practice, a particular effort during practice. Takes all of that noise and moves it into something that is productive and constructive for practice. If all you do is say, oh, yeah, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. No. Well, that's not constructive, is it? It's never going to be. It keeps you from doing what you were intending to do, which was practice. So how do you manage that? How do you deal with that? How do you make the adjustments so that instead of being too critical, it's not without, I was supposed to have been finished at 8 o'clock and it's after that now. All right? I have to recognize that. I also recognize, well, I'm here, and that understanding that comes with that, well, all right, I missed it, so what am I going to do? And nobody answers that but me. I missed it. What now what? Well, I'm going to try again. I'll try again. Here I am. All right, that's my answer. Try again. Long history behind try it again. But that is, in fact, what I've done pretty much all my life. And if it's something that I thought was important enough to keep working at, I was going to keep trying again. That's something that I've done with my Qigong practice. Yeah, keep trying again. I want to encourage you to do the same. I will be back next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with Dragon Sword. Thursday morning, I will be here with foundation sets for Wudang Qigong. Friday morning, I will not be here. I have something to go do, and I will be back next week, following week, with more of the advanced sets and this idea of listening and paying attention to what we hear both inside and outside. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.